how you be doing? I'm back. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, I'm back with another Death Note box thingy, majigger, whatever. But before I do that, I am doing a little sneak peek thing of the 13th volume because I really like. Don't get me wrong, I'm like in love with Death Note, but the beginning is so boring. Ugh, it's you. Ugh, you don't even understand. It's boring. Okay, so how to read? That's the 13th volume. I really like it. Gives like a bunch of detail and stuff that's not in the story, and it's just like a complete fan guide, and it's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and like I like how like on the back of like all the way in the back, like Ryuk, he talks about like Death Note rules. He talks about like rules and of the Death Note and like how many lines per page, how many pages, and it's really cool because just like things like that you can fit into a book talking about it, and it's just really cool. And all the way in the back, I guess they have something about something because now Ryuk is with this middle school kid. And Ryuk dropped his Death Note again. And some bitch just had a heart attack. So now, Ryuk and this little middle schooler are running. And there's this guy reading names. Who the hell is Taro Kaga? I don't know. Okay. Well. Oh, okay. So if you erase the person's name from a Death Note, obviously they come back to life. So I don't know. I don't know. Is this a boy or a girl? I don't know. Okay, so is this person alive or dead? Dead? Alive? Let's see. Death Note Volume 2! Okay. The front cover is a picture of L. Yes, my love. Okay. Here, I'm gonna use the box, that box, to put the book on because I'm lazy. Okay. So, if you watch my previous one right now, like in the second installment book thingy, they're still at the murder scene of the guy who got ran over by a car, and now Light and that creepy police officer guy that was stalking Light and his date and Ryuk are getting off the bus. And the guy that was stalking Light goes into this hotel and he meets his wife, and he's like, oh, I got in a bus jacking, and she's like, oh, that must have been terrible and stuff like that. And then they started talking about it and everything, and then he used to be part of the FBI and stuff, and he's like, listen, babe, let me do the work. I'm the FBI agent. You need to stop worrying. So shut the fuck up and calm down. So now we go to L, and he's talking with Watari, and they're trying to figure out a riddle, but like they don't have all the pieces to it yet. And so now they're back at MPA, which is like the Japanese FBI. and they're talking, and this is a week later, and they're talking about how um the FBI agents like like some of the FBI agents are dying and like they don't know how and everything, and all the agents of that particular mission are dying and stuff, and they're getting more they're getting more people resigning, more and more people resigning, and Ray, apparently this bitch's name is Ray, so Ray dies because apparently the bitch is murdered by Kira, and now she's sitting there on a his wife. I'm being very unclear about everything again. So now his wife is on a bridge, all depressed in the snow or in the rain. Where's the snow? And she's crying and she's depressed and everything. And then they go back to like a memory. Light is in a train station and he goes in. Aww. Okay, sorry. So he, Light gets like right behind this guy Ray, and he's like all up in his grill and everything, and so, he follows him onto the train, and then while they're on the train, Light writes his name down, and then he dies, and then he's like, Light, Amade, and he's like, goodbye, Ray Penberg, and then it closes, and then now he's dead. And so now we go back to the chick on the bus. New chapter. Holla. We go back to the chick on the bus, and she's on the bus, and she stopped at a shuttle transportation office, and she's showing a picture of him, like, oh, have you seen this guy? It's her husband. So yeah. And then they go back to the Amage residence, and they're talking about their dad and everything, and how like Kira is like destroying their lives and everything is like unfair and stuff. And then we go to Mr. Amage, like dad, and they go into like this place and stuff, and they're talking about Kira and everything, and then they talk to Watari, and Watari says, please keep what is among to happen a secret among the 8 of us. And then they're like, wait, what's gonna happen? And then Watari says, I would like to meet the 6 of you who have my trust as soon as possible. Do not speak of. I don't know what's going on. My mom is like, mm. Do not speak of our meeting or have met me or what we will be doing to anyone who is not in the room now. That includes anybody in the NTA, your families, and your friends. Please leave the NTA building to discuss whether you can swear to the above and whether you can trust me. Only those who agreed to work with me in this investigation shall return to the room, and I will send my further conditions to our meeting in this computer. So then they're discussing about it, and then they're like, oh, El's waiting for us. Oh, wait, my bad, it wasn't Watari, it was El. I'm so stupid. Okay, so everything I just read, Watari didn't say that. El said that, my bad. It says, I am in a room in the Imperial Hotel. So then they say, if you are able to cooperate with me on these terms, please split into 2 teams and come to my room by midnight this year. That is by the year 2004, leaving at least a 30-minute interval between the 2 teams. Watari will hand you a memo with my room number. I'll be waiting. So now he sounds like a desperate gossip girl. But you know, that's okay. So Al is looking fine as fuck and is in a room and he's thinking about Kira and everything, and like how he could beat him and everything. And then, so we go back to the MPA, and they're walking into the hotel, and they knock on the door, and then all of a sudden you see this guy in a white t-shirt and jeans, basic as hell, no shoes, and he's scratching his ankle with his other foot. He's like, I'm L. And they're like, I'm Matsuda. I'm Detective Superintendent Amage of the MPA. I'm Matsuda. I'm Aizawa. Oh my gosh, wait. Is that chick's name from that anime? No, I think it's Oh my god, it's almost the same thing! I'm Ukita, and I'm Mogi. And then all of a sudden, Al goes like this, and then he goes, BANG! And you're like, is this some kind of joke? And he's like, bitch, if I were Kira, you'd be dead. So shut up. I don't know. I thought that was funny when I saw it at first, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Okay, so then Al sits on the table the way he always sits, and you know, sexy as fuck because it needs to like, it gives him like 20% brain stamina or something like that. And then he tells them not to not call me Al anymore, and to call me Ryuzaki from now on. For safety sake. So now we're going by Ryuzaki, but I'm still gonna call him Al. Anyways, they start talking about their plan to get Kira, which is pretty much like they watch from the sidelines and stuff, and they see how Kira plays out his game and everything. And then he starts writing on the table. He says, now please keep those points in mind and listen carefully to what I say next. December 14, 12 FBI agents enter Japan. December 19, Kira uses imprisoned criminals to carry out what are clearly tests of his ability to control victims' actions before they die. In other words, within just 5 days, Kira became aware of the FBI's presence. He felt threatened, and in order to eliminate all the agents in Japan whose number and names and faces he couldn't have known, he used criminals to test how far he could control his victims' actions. December 27, using the results of his test, he got all 12 agents to receive a file with their names and photographs and succeeds in killing them all. That proves that he needed to conceal from us which agent's file he had seen. So pretty much like, it's so he tests on prisoners to make sure that it will work with the FBI agents, so he can eliminate them in this very world. Look at this face! How can you say no to this face? Look at it! Oh my god! Did the camera get that? Is my camera stupid? Look at that face! He's like, I don't know, I can't do it. Look, it's the light, I'm a gay! Ah! Okay. And then he says, I'll win in the end. The good guys always win. I'm just kidding, he didn't flip the chair, but you know, it would have been awesome if he did. And then they're like one clue is missing, and they need to figure out that stupid clue. And then they go back to this guy's wife. Oh, and NPA stands for National Police Agency. Okay, light just looks like a coked out whore there, so. And Sayu, Light's sister, looks like a slut, so. Okay, so nothing important right here, and they're talking about, and then they go back to the guy's wife, and they're talking about, like, if there's any way, like, he can talk to Al, and they're like, no, bitch, you can't talk to Al. Al's busy right now. Leave a message after the tone. And then she bows and she's like, thank you. And then she meets up with Light, and Light's like, let's step outside. And then they start talking about Kira and everything, and like how he kills people and stuff. And then they start talking about the FBI agents that were killed, and then they get to this Ray bitch, and he's like, he was my fiance. And they're like, oh, he got, like, she pretty much tells him the story of, like, how he got caught in the bus jacking and everything that happened after that. And, quite frankly, he already knows everything that happened, so. But, and then he's like, I'm convinced he was the one who tipped Kira off to the presence of the FBI in Japan. And then she starts talking a bunch of shit about how, like, he was, like, he was keeping his eye on Kira and everything and all that. And this has been going on for 16 minutes. And, like, not only are you probably bored, but I'm on board. And, frankly, I'm not explaining anything. But, you know, whatever, the show goes on. And then something clicks inside Light, and he's like, she has to be eliminated. Okay, sorry. Okay, so then he writes something in the death note saying that she's gonna commit suicide, and that it says starting at 1:15 p.m. on January 1st, 2004, thinks only of how best to commit suicide in such a way that nobody will be inconvenienced that her body will be discovered, and dies by implementing this plan within 48 hours. And then she like he starts counting the minutes and everything, and then he's like, oh my god, it's an alibi. So she used a fake name. He was like, I can't trust this bitch. So then he's like, so tell me, what's your real name? Oh wait, no. He doesn't. No, okay, he doesn't ask for him. So then we go back to L, and then he's like, Watari is here. And it's like, good afternoon, gentlemen. And it's, Watari is old, but he's very sweet. And then something happens to him, and oh. Okay. Look at Watari, he looks so sweet and old and innocent. Okay. And then so they give them all new ID badges and everything with fake names and stuff, so they can be tracked and everything and all that. And then they pretty much explain why they have to use fake IDs so like they can't get tracked and stuff. And then they get, and Watari gives them like these belts, and then like on the buckle, if you push this button, it'll contact Al and Watari immediately. So like if you're in trouble or something. And then we go back to Light and the fiance. I mean, yeah, the fiance, and they're talking about how she used to work with L and everything, and how she used to be an FBI agent, and like, oh, L has my complete trust and all this. And then she's like, Light says you can join the investigation and stuff, and like you can join the task force. Like my dad is in the task force, so like you can just like join us and everything. And then she's like, the name I gave you earlier, it's not my real name. And then he's like, that's okay. He's like, bitch, I already knew you gave me a fake name. Bitch, you think I'm stupid? That's so bitch, I was trying to kill you. Okay. So then, he gives her the ID. and then he's writing her death everything down on in the death note, but like on a pulled out piece of paper, so she thinks it's just a normal piece of paper. And then her name is Naomi Usora. And then he's writing it. And then he keeps looking at his watch. And then she's like, why do you keep looking at your watch? And then she's like, oh, that's because. And then Light says, oh, my watch. That's because. And then it's like tick, and which like signs that it's like the time between whatever it is that he wrote is now like over. He's like, I am here. And then she's like, huh? What do you mean? And he's like, 1:25 p.m. Go! And then she turns around and she's like, what's the matter? She's like, there's something I have to do. And then she's like, I have to go. So then she walks away. And now we're at Elle, my darling. My darling, 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 darling Elle. So now don't you just hate it when you're reading a manga and like they switch chapters and stuff, and then they have like 5 pages of nothing? Well, not nothing. There's pictures and stuff on it, but they're like like hold on, hold on, hold on. It's like chapter 16, and I'm just picking out a name of the chapter from the book. Chapter 16, handstand. And then they have like a page of the manga, and then they have another the same chapter name. I don't understand that. It's stupid. God. And then and that again with my favorite. See, it hasn't done it throughout the entire video. Now that I'm wrapping up, it wants to do it. I don't understand. Oh my god. Okay. So then Ryuk finds out that Light can sew, and then someone's phone starts ringing from the MPA, and then Elle takes it, and then he's like, yes, this is Suzuki, head of the information processing unit for the Kira case. Who the fuck is this? And he's like, Ray Pender's fiance. And then they look her up, and then they find out that she committed suicide. So they want to put um bugs and hidden cameras in Light's house and stuff to make sure that like nothing strange is going on. And he's like, and then Matsuda, being the ignorant and stuck up and goody two shoes bitch that he is, he goes, but in Japan, that's an illegal violation of human rights. And then I was like, I promise you, no one will figure out, so shut the fuck up. And then they're like, Ryuzaki, what is the probability of Kira being in one of those families? And then he's like 10%. He's like, no, 5%. And then they're like, just 5%. So you want to put all those devices in my house, and you're 5% sure that? Ugh. Just okay. So we go back to Light, and Light gets home, and he's opening the door, and no one's home, and then um okay. So when Light's opening his door, he he puts it like there's a piece of paper in his door, and when he opens the door it pops. And then so he walks into his closet, puts the coat on, walks back out, puts the piece of paper back in the door, and then so like like, he keeps annoying, like, what's it called? Ignoring Ryuk because, like, he notices that there's bugs and stuff because, like, people went in his room and everything. So he knows that there's, like, bugs or something in his house, and he keeps annoying, like, Ryuk keeps annoying him because he thinks that there's bugs, and then he explains to them that there's probably bugs and everything on it. Or if you don't know, bugs are microphones. So, yeah. And then so he's like, I know. And then so he explains to him how he works his door. And then he says, the handle is designed so that when you close the door, it returns itself in the horizontal position that's as high as it goes. When I leave the room, I always wait until it does that, then lower about a quarter inch. So before I enter my room, I always lift the handle first before lowering it to open the door. If it doesn't go up, that means someone might have entered. And then he says, but that by itself isn't enough to be sure, so I always have a piece of mechanical pencil lead in place. And then he says, on the upper hinge, after I close the door, I set it so it hardly, so it hardly shows from the outside, but if anyone opens the door, it'll break. Usually I remove it before going in. But today when I came home, it was broken. So that's how he knows that someone's been in his room. So, Ryuk sees a picture of an apple, and then he's like, oh my gosh, I want apples. It's like cigarettes and liquor for humans. If I'm deprived, I'll go into withdrawal. I want apples. He's like, just shut the fuck up. But he still wants apples. So they go home, and he goes on a camera hunt. Ryuk goes on a camera hunt. Really? Really? Anyway. So then they're walking home, and they're talking about, like, his college exams and everything. And then they talk about how, like, how Ryuk needs to go into the room and he needs to locate all the cameras and all the bugs and everything. So, and then he says, if I do this, you have to give me all these apples and everything. And then he's like, okay. So he flies up to the room, and he goes and looks for the bugs, and that's the end of the volume. So, that's the end of the second volume. I will probably make the third video either tonight or tomorrow. I don't know yet. But this is where the cure case starts unfolding slowly. And soon enough, L and Light will end up meeting, and then Misa's gonna come into the picture. I hate her; she's annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, guys, bye.